Have you ever felt different in a way that is difficult to describe? Not different in personality on the surface, not different in values, but different in how your mind works. You may understand emotions clearly. You may analyze them well. You may even give wise advice to others. And yet, when it comes to living those emotions openly, something inside tightens. You may think deeply, but still feel alone. You may sit in a room full of people and feel slightly separate. You may sense that your inner world is more complex than what others see. If this resonates and you have strong number 7 in your birth date, what you are experiencing is not mystical. It is psychological structure. Number 7 reflects internal sensitivity, cognitive intensity, a nervous system that registers tone, nuance, and subtle change very quickly. It is not dramatic. It is not loud. It is quiet depth. And when this structure is misunderstood early in life, it shapes identity in powerful and often invisible ways. 130 to 330, childhood formation in childhood. Number 7 often shows up as heightened sensitivity, not fragility. Sensitivity. A raised voice can feel destabilizing. A harsh comment can stay in memory for years. Even subtle disappointment from a parent can feel overwhelming. When parents yell, the 7 child does not usually shout back. They go silent. The nervous system reacts immediately. The body tightens. The child withdraws inward. Over time, they learn something important. Silence feels safer than reaction. 7 children are frequently praised for intelligence. You're so smart. You think like an adult. You're mature. But rarely are they praised for emotional expression. Very early, they learn that thinking earns approval. Feeling does not. They become observant. They watch adults closely. They sense tension before it is spoken. They analyze the emotional climate of the home. Early intellectual maturity develops, but emotional expression becomes private. If they are criticized for being too sensitive, they reduce sharing. If they are misunderstood repeatedly, they retreat further. An inner world forms. Books, thoughts, private analysis. That inner world becomes safe. Over time, it becomes identity. I am the one who thinks. I am the one who understands. But rarely, I am the one who feels openly. Number 7 is deeply connected to the nervous system. This is not symbolic. It is experiential. Many 7s carry subtle physical tension without realizing it. Breathing becomes shallow during stress. The jaw tightens unconsciously. The stomach contracts during emotional discomfort. The shoulders lift slightly and remain elevated. This tension is not dramatic. It is constant. Sound sensitivity is common. Loud conversations can feel overwhelming. Crowded rooms can exhaust them quickly. After long social events, fatigue appears. Not because they dislike people, because their nervous system processes more information than average. They skin tone. They register micro-expressions. They notice subtle shifts in mood. When emotional expression is suppressed, the body holds it. Unspoken frustration becomes tightness in the neck. Unexpressed sadness becomes heaviness in the chest. Anxiety becomes shallow breathing. 7 may appear calm, but the body remembers everything. If this continues for decades, chronic tension becomes normal. They may not even notice how tight they are until someone points it out. Learning to relax is not natural for 7. It must be practiced, because hyper-alertness feels familiar, and familiar feels safe. In adulthood, 7 often builds identity around competence. Knowledge becomes stability. Expertise becomes security. Many 7s choose professions that reward analysis and precision. Research, engineering, law, architecture, music composition, surgery, data science, fields where careful thinking is respected. But beneath this strength is a psychological pattern. Competence becomes protection. If I am well prepared, I will not be criticized. If I know more than others, I will not feel exposed. 7 often fears being wrong, not because of ego, because criticism feels destabilizing at a nervous system level. Perfectionism develops quietly. They check details twice, then 3 times. They delay action to refine the plan. Hesitation disguises itself as strategy. Preparation becomes endless. Productivity becomes emotional avoidance. It is easier to focus on tasks than to confront vulnerability. 7 can appear highly successful, but emotional development may lag behind intellectual growth. They may lead projects confidently, but struggle to express personal insecurity. Professional identity can become armor. Without realizing it, they begin to live primarily through performance. And when identity is tied too strongly to confidence, mistakes feel catastrophic. This increases internal pressure. 7 works hard not to fail, and sometimes works so hard that they forget how to rest. Over time, the mind of 7 rarely stops. They replay conversations at night. Why did I say that? Did that sound too harsh? Should I have explained more clearly? They simulate future problems repeatedly. If this happens, I will respond like this. If that fails, I will adjust. Preparation feels responsible, but sometimes it becomes avoidance. 7 may struggle to relax even when nothing is wrong. The body sits still. The mind continues. Planning, analyzing, revising. This constant cognitive activity creates mental fatigue, but it does not always look like anxiety. It looks intelligent. It sounds thoughtful. Hidden anxiety can mask itself as strategic thinking. 7 tells themselves they are being careful, but underneath is fear of unpredictability, fear of losing intellectual control, fear of emotional chaos. Overthinking replaces risk. They prepare instead of acting. They analyze instead of engaging. And slowly, life begins to feel observed rather than lived. This is the trap, living in the head more than in the body. Understanding life conceptually, but hesitating to step fully into it. Between 35 and 45, something shifts. Externally, life may look stable. Career established. Family responsibilities managed. Reputation built. Internally, isolation becomes clearer. 7 may realize they have intellectual respect, but emotional distance. They are admired for thinking, but rarely known for vulnerability. A quiet fear emerges. I understand emotions in theory, but what if I cannot handle them in practice? There is fear of emotional incompetence, fear of losing control, fear that strong feelings will destabilize everything. Internal dialogue becomes intense. If I open up fully, I may lose authority. If I show uncertainty, I may be seen as weak. It is safer to stay composed. Consider a 44-year-old woman with strong 7 energy. She leads a department successfully. Her work is precise. Her strategy is clear. At home, her partner says she feels distant. She listens. She nods, but struggles to respond emotionally. After disagreements, she lies awake replaying every word. I should have said it differently. I sounded cold. Why can't I just express what I feel? Her stomach tightens before difficult conversations. Her jaw aches after arguments. She feels lonely even when surrounded by family. This is the emotional peak of 7. Intellectual success cannot solve emotional distance. Midlife clarity reveals both strength and limitation. Thinking protected you, but now it restricts you. Analysis once kept you safe. Now it keeps you separate. 7 often attracts expressive partners. This creates attraction and tension. When overwhelmed, 7 withdraws quietly. No shouting, just distance. Instead of offering emotional empathy, they may offer solutions. Instead of saying, I understand, they say, here's how to fix it. Their partner may feel unseen. 7 may feel misunderstood. In parenting, 7 values intelligence and independence. They encourage thinking. They support curiosity. But if overused, emotion receives correction instead of validation. A child says, I'm upset. 7 may respond, let's analyze why. Instead of, I hear you. Maturity softens this. 7 learns to pause, to listen without correcting, to sit in emotion without trying to improve it. They begin to understand that connection is not built through explanation. It is built through presence. The mature 7 is powerful, not because they know everything, but because they integrate. Solitude becomes chosen, not defensive. Isolation transforms into reflective space. Mind and emotion cooperate. Thinking supports feeling. Analysis serves connection. Vulnerability becomes strength. They can say, I don't know. They can say, I feel uncertain. They can admit discomfort without losing authority. Embodied thinking replaces detached analysis. Calm authority emerges naturally. 7 does not need to become louder. 7 becomes deeper, not withdrawn, integrated. You cannot remove your psychological structure, but you can refine it. 7 becomes its strongest not when it hides behind intelligence, but when it allows intelligence and emotion to stand together. That is the integrated path of number 7. Quiet, steady, fully lived.